Hi, it's Hans at happierman.com. Today's topic is leave your wife, save your life. Ooh, it sounds like a pretty dramatic title, doesn't it? But the reason I want to talk about it is I think a lot of guys are in a marriage to a bad woman, a woman that isn't good for them, a woman for whatever reason just can't treat you very well, and you're continuing to suffer and struggle with this lady in this marriage, and you don't know what to do. But what to do is to leave her and give yourself a chance of a good life. You just cannot have a good life if you're married to a woman like that who gives you lots of drama, who creates chaos in your life, who isn't supportive, who just seems to be like an over drama queen. And the worst is sometimes all of these things manifest itself into a verbally abusive woman. So I was married to a verbally abusive woman, and I left her, and it definitely saved my life. I was on a path of destruction. I was totally unhappy. I was walking on eggshells. I never got enough rest. I always was totally just an unhealthy life, meaning nothing I was doing was what I wanted my life. Nothing I was doing was how I wanted my life to be, but I was just kind of overwhelmed with this lady, and I let her just overwhelm me with her verbal abuse and all the other things that go with that. Now, certainly, I think the verbal abuse that a woman puts on a husband is just absolutely horrible, and it's kind of up to you as a man to determine how much of this verbal abuse you would take. I would argue I wouldn't take any of it, but that's, of course, me now, years later, after having gone through an enormous upheaval in my life to leave her and go through the divorce, and there's all kinds of aftermath after the divorce that wasn't very good either. So I can talk from this perspective. But you living with this lady, and you've been trying to build a life, you bought a house, you got some kids, you're sweating, you're working hard, you're trying to get ahead, trying to put some money aside for retirement, you're trying to have a normal family. Well, all of that was what I was trying to do, and all of that had to be thrown out the window because she was just ruining my life. She was wrecking my life. She was putting me on a path to an early grave. And I'm suggesting to you that you might find yourself in this category, that your only hope to save your life is to leave your wife. Now, I do talk about this. I have various other videos on verbally abusive wives and why a wife might choose to be verbally abusive, what might cause her to do that, how to prepare to leave your wife, and I've got this is all kind of linked off my website, happierman.com. You can easily find it if you type in happierman.com. I've also have a book called Leave Your Wife and Become a Happier Man with the 3-step system. It's available on that website. It's very prominent. You can't miss it. I've got a long article describing the book, and you might find yourself, I've got other articles talking about this enormous problem of a bad wife and a wife that's not good for you, and I think you should kind of check that out. But you can certainly, if you're in a bad marriage, you've got no hope of a good life. You've got really no hope of a long life either. I just don't think it's possible for a man. The longer you stay with a bad woman, the less likely you're going to want to live, and you're going to be doing various things to yourself to try to wreck your life. Your stress level is going to be off the charts. You're going to have to you'll be using various coping mechanisms to try to give yourself some relief. Usually smoking, drinking, overeating of the sugar and the carbs. That was the sugar and the carbs. That was kind of my weapon of choice to cope with the things I was having to deal with. But this doesn't have to be the end for you. You can leave your wife, and it can be the beginning for you. I know that leaving my wife, while I needed to, but it was enormously difficult and chaos and drama, and it wasn't easy. But I did it, and I've come through the other side, and it's my life. I've never been happier. I've had so much fun, and my career has gone up, and my happiness has gone up. My relationship with my children has gone up. With my family, my friends, my new friends, everything has gone up. My finances, my future has all gone up by leaving her and starting my life again. This can be your life. You can be a happier man again if you just do what I suggest on that and leave your wife, save your life, all for now.